right, welcome to Top 5 Vinyl, where we show vinyl lovers some love. Today I'm here with Ty. How's it going, Ty?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
Not too bad, not too bad. And before we get started, I'd like to make sure everybody subscribes and likes his channel. That would be very
Yeah, y'all
appreciated.
do that. Show some love to my boy.
Show some love. Appreciate that. All right, so let me ask you off top. Do you remember the first vinyl album that you ever bought?
I don't have it with me right now, but the very first one that I brought, I'm new to the vinyl game in the sense of me owning it. My parents had like crates and crates. We used to go in the basement and playing with the album covers,
Hmm.
the arts, and throwing them like frisbee, not knowing the values of these things.
Right.
And I just remember being at a party. So I'm a photographer. Some people know me by celebrity photographer Ty Waterman.
Mm-hmm.
And I owe some of you the credit to what I do because
Mm-hmm.
of your venture into the
Thank you,
hip
sir.
hop R&B game, but it got me out there to get in front of the camera and everything. But I happened to be at an event and I was telling my assistant, I was like, yo, I'm about to get me a record player. I think I want that for Christmas.
Mm.
Could wait for somebody to buy it, or I'm just gonna buy it for myself. I deserve it. I was like, I want to hear the clarity. I want to get some of the older records that I grew up on, stuff I love. And right when I said that, a song comes on and it's Alexander O'Neal,
Mm.
Sunshine.
Mm. Mm.
And I'm like, yo, this would be dope on vinyl. Where the whole just can't wait, the highs and lows, I can't go but day. When I heard it, I was like, yo. So I literally went on Amazon
Mm.
and ordered. No, was it Amazon? No, I looked on Amazon, couldn't find it, and then I found it on like some independent site.
Okay.
And that is the very first record that I own. And I that's my joint.
Mm. Mm. Do you remember around what year was this?
This had to be maybe 2018,
Okay.
2019-ish.
Okay.
Like right before COVID settled in.
Yeah. Okay. And between then and now, like, do you have like a preferred place to buy vinyl, or what's your go-to? How do you buy vinyl?
So it depends whether it's something that's newer or like a remastered or whatever. Walmart, Target, you can kind of find some hidden gems in there. But usually those are like I said, the remastered versions of an album.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be your special edition because they might put out like different colored versions or different artwork. Um, the newer stuff maybe might be that way. But I found a site, I think it's called Discogs,
Yep, I'm familiar.
where you're able to go and find like exact albums of what you're looking for. Problem is it's like the prices,
Mm.
like the one that I really wanted, the price was like
Mm.
150 to $200.
Mm.
It was Music Soul Child's first album. And I
Mm.
was like, can't see paying that. I think the highest I've paid was probably $75,
Okay.
and it's one of my albums in my list.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. And you mentioned earlier, like, growing up, a lot of music in the house. Who's the primary music vinyl listener in the house, mom or dad?
So it's weird. Like I grew up with my dad, my mom and dad in the house, but my dad was not in the house. I think my
Okay.
dad was like a one of those weird absent father. He was always at work. He was always out the house, and he on his passing, we found him with someone else. That's a whole story for another time.
Okay.
Let's just say I got brothers and sisters I didn't know about until after he passed. You
Understood.
know, but and he's African American, right? So you would think all the soul music came from him. No, it came from my little Asian mother.
Oh, wow. And she had
Yeah,
all the
she would
vinyls?
play. Oh, Jackson 5, Lionel Richie, Commodores. When Lionel Richie had that solo album, um, All Night Long
Mm-hmm.
on loop, especially the part, Come see that, hey, jump, jump. Like,
Yeah.
listen, yo, stuff like that. Michael Jackson would play throughout the house, Stevie Wonder,
Mm.
Marvin Gaye. It was crazy when Marvin Gaye, I remember watching the news when he passed
Mm.
and my mom was crying.
Mm.
This Asian woman, so she's from Thailand. But years later, what I found out was the area where she's from, there's an Air Force base,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in Thailand, the area is like where she's at was kind of country. It wasn't a lot for her to do, so she would just go up to the Air Force base. and like the GIs and everybody be out there partying, and they sit there and listen to music, and that's how she got her love for
Mm,
music, because they're playing the same music
right.
that I grew up listening to,
Wow.
Temptations, Four Tops, all that.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. Okay, okay.
And
All
I
right.
ain't never share that with nobody.
Wow, well, thank you. Thank you for letting me be the first.
No,
Appreciate that.
no doubt, man.
All right, and I know you have your five vinyl records next to you. So let's take a look at your number five. Who do you have for number five?
Okay, so my number five, this one right here, right? This is my actual second album that I purchased,
Okay.
because it was the second song that played right after Alexander O'Neal's Sunshine when I was at that party,
Mm,
right? This one means a lot to me for different reasons.
mm-hmm.
You see that?
I see Bobby Brown.
Yep, this is his, I guess you would say his second album. Because the first album had Girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
I Need a Girlfriend or whatever. But I mean, Bobby, what can I say? Like, you got Don't Be Cruel, My Prerogative, Roni, Rock With You, Take It Slow is my joint. Every Little Step, I Really Love You, Girl. Like this whole album, Oh, I'll Be Good to You. Like this was off the hook. This don't got no like, it's nothing special. At least when I got it, there's no like, I didn't have any liner covers. This is secondhand,
Mm-hmm.
but like this album still bang. I don't care what anybody say. The king of R&B right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, my cousin, I remember her coming over and playing the tape.
Okay.
And I think she left it overnight, and I broke it.
Oh.
And she was mad, and she was like, "Oh, but I was too young to buy anything, so she didn't expect me to buy anything." But I was also smart enough to find a little piece of scotch tape, tape it back
Ah,
together. So
right.
I owned "Don't Be Cruel" at like, I don't know, we'll say like 10 years old or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to it. And back then I had a high like singing voice. So I would sing the heck out of all them songs.
Mm.
I ain't know what he was talking about, Take It Slow. Don't Be Cruel. I didn't know what cruel was.
Right, right.
All those jams, Tenderoni
Mm-hmm.
at 11. But listen, it was definitely something that like played on in my head over and over throughout the years, to the point where when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I got to get this one.
Mm, okay. So that was your number five. Let's go ahead and take a look at your number four.
All right.
And before you
Let's
before you
see.
share, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever seen any of your top five live before?
Oh yeah, I'm a photographer, buddy. This is what I do, celebrity photography. I think that the beauty of it, where people think that I'm getting paid all this money doing this photography work and everything, I don't necessarily do that. And some of this is me just chasing a dream, but also my therapy. And
Mm,
it's also me sending a salute to my childhood.
mm,
I didn't have the greatest childhood, but like those little memories is what made them great. And
mm,
so for me to be standing front row and Bobby Brown is on stage, I don't care if he don't sound like what he used to sound like.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's what the records are for.
Right.
That was amazing to go backstage and be hanging out with Bobby.
Mm, mm,
I don't have a picture with Bobby, but it's funny. I got pictures of Bobby. I got pictures with Belle Biv DeVoe, all of them and whatnot. But I don't have a picture of Bobby, even though I was backstage right next to him, because
mm,
his family was backstage
mm.
and they was taking pictures. And so I don't like to rush them like, oh, let
Right.
me take a picture.
Right.
So I just let him do his thing, and then right at the end, that's when I usually go in. But he was like heading out. I don't know if he was feeling well or whatever it was. So I just let it be, because I know if it's meant to be, it's gonna come back around, and it does all
Exactly.
the time. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, there's so
That's cool.
many celebs that I love that I've been in front of. I can't even believe it. I gotta pinch myself, man.
Funny. All right. Let's take a look at your number four. What you got over there?
Number four.
Boys to Men.
Yeah, I'm sorry for this. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn this
It's the
off.
the blur.
The blur. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the trap, just in case nobody.
Ah, you're funny. There it is.
Um,
Greatest hits
all
collection.
right.
Okay.
So this one, I wanted the actual two album, but the greatest hits is for me. What rounds it out is that first album is a part of this also, and a little bit in some of the other stuff that's on here, So, but the reason why I like this one, or not even just this one, but Boyz II Men, is I used to be in a singing group.
Mm,
So my photo company is called BKS Photographs. BKS stands for the Best Kept Secret, the name of my singing group when I
mm,
was a teenager.
Okay.
And it just basically means there's skills and things that we all have, but you would never get to know unless you take the time to know a person.
Mm,
You
mm,
know, like right now, that's what we doing. We sit and we building and we talking, and
mm.
these are stories that I'm sharing with you. You would have never known. You'd be like, oh, I never know.
Right.
So when people see me doing photographer, I was like, I never knew you did photography. Now you know because that was the best kept secret.
Right.
So, but um,
Mm, okay.
this one folds out,
Okay.
double disc. You know, um, I don't know if let me see if there. Nope, there's nothing real fancy about it except
Got the
for a
red.
nice little color.
Okay.
Um,
Both discs are red.
yep, both are
Okay.
they're actually like purple. I guess my color is like,
No, no, no. That could be me. Okay.
but yeah, and then on the back there's nothing fancy, just what you call it. But you know what? Like I loved about some records will have the full song listing, but like you can get what the songs are.
Mm,
Maybe it's on like an insert or whatever. Kind of like what we did with CDs, you fold it out or even tapes just to
mm-hmm.
get the lyrics because we
Mm-hmm.
couldn't search the lyrics on the internet.
Yeah,
So
back then the internet didn't exist. You're right. You're right.
I got kicked out of a Boys to Men concert though, to let you know. I got pictures, but I got kicked out. Somebody brought too many people into the VIP area,
Mm-hmm.
and they just kind of everybody got to go. So I
Mm,
was included in everybody,
okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
But I did get my picture, so I'm good.
All right, cool. So that was your number four. Let's go ahead and take a look at your number three.
Okay, right. You can't have Bobby without
Ha,
New
okay.
Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Although Bobby ain't on this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Any Heartbreak, the joint
Mm,
with Can You Stand the Rain on it.
mm-hmm.
But like my joint on here, I don't for some reason, let me see. Think it might be You're Not My Kind of Girl.
Okay. That's
You,
that's
you,
that's your
you,
favorite song on the album?
it goes between that and If It Isn't Love.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, you're not my kind of girl. Basically, you know, you got those girls that, especially when you're younger, where you really like them, they cute, their personality, everything, but this is not the right time and place.
Mm,
So it's like you're not my kind of girl. It's not really the song is not like a diss saying, "Oh, you're ugly." It's just that you're not my kind of girl. And like he's building her up and saying, you know, you're this, you're that, and that, but you're just not my kind of girl. So at this point in time, you're not my kind of girl. Don't mean it can't change, you know.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and if it isn't love, like why must I feel
Mm,
this way? You know,
mm-hmm.
then you get older, Boys to Men, the song hits different,
Mm,
you know, because you realize like, yeah, like Johnny Gill was spitting. He knew what he was talking about.
right. All right, cool. So that was your number three.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at your number two.
Okay, so these it gets hard when you're trying to decide on which baby you love the most.
Huh,
You know,
okay.
it's
Okay.
hard to pick your kids out and say I love this one. There's moments where you love a lot, but then there's these things where you're like, nope, it's just not fair. So let me just say that it's not fair. However, this right here is the one I think I've paid the most. I don't even. I said 75, but I think it was more than 75 because I was like, I really have to have this. But
Okay.
Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite.
Mm,
This
mm-hmm.
is his first album. Um, is Maxwell. I don't know too much of what can I is Maxwell like this dude once did an interview for like I don't know Vibe or something. And when the guy described how that interview went, he said like he was expecting his big entourage to come in. It was in like some kind of diner or something. He thought it would be like a big crowd surrounding. And he said Maxwell just walked in with like a trench coat on and just sat down and like nobody knew who he was. They
Mm,
didn't know it was him.
mm.
And they did the interview, and just like that, he walked out in the street and blended right back into the
Regular
crowd.
dude. Yeah.
Nobody knew. Like
Mm,
that's one smooth brother.
mm.
You know, I must have seen him somewhere close to 10 times
Wow.
and must have shot him about 5 times
Mm,
as a photographer.
mm-hmm.
And each time it's just he embodies like all the old school greats from Adonny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, and he has this old school new soul or neo soul, as I say, feel. but remains individual with his style.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too many people out there like him. He stands alone
Mm-hmm.
on what he does. But like I own two of his albums, and color wise, he got the other one. I think it's called Now, has a brown, it's called the chocolate brown cover.
Mm-hmm.
But this one,
Mm.
it's like a gold with some
Yeah.
kind of flex in there or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, this is a dual disc also. I believe both. Yep, both are the same, and it also has.
That's some nice artwork. Okay. That was a book. What is that?
It's like a mini book, kind of one page opener. So 508 is the Urban Hang Suite number.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point where I love the fact that he rocked his fro,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he went into the braiding of his hair and cornrows, I used to ask my braider to do it. She could never get it exactly like how his was, but I would have little cornrows going to the back and then letting it all hang out in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And our girls loved it too. So, you know, but yeah, little different artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is this might be my one of my top. This might be the one, but for purpose of this, it's not number one.
Okay.
But Maxwell,
All right, cool. So that was number two. Now I'm just dying to see what number one is. Let's take a look at your number one.
okay, so this is gonna be wow. I don't even think you can even guess if I put you and say, hey, you gotta guess what you couldn't even guess. So this is an eclectic, it's actually a soundtrack.
Okay.
And I was like, if I have to get a vinyl, what would it be? It has to be the best, it has to be the ultimate. And for me, there's only one ultimate, and it has nothing to do with music, it has more to do with movies.
Hmm. Mm. That is hilarious because my wife has that same album hanging on the wall. She has
I
that
had to
same
do it.
exact album.
I had to do it for the culture. I mean, this is a Motown inspired. This is classic. I know this movie from front to back. I've met Tamak, aka Bruce Leroy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a movie that was done like very well for the style it was and the time period it was. We have like that crossover from the black exploitation movies and kung fu,
Mm-hmm.
and that Barry Gordy and his people did it so well that it just became timeless. And it wasn't like super cheesy. It was cheesy enough that it was funny, but it wasn't to the point where you was like, oh, it's like everybody in the hood wanted to be Bruce Leroy. As a kid, I wanted to be Bruce Leroy. Now I think I'm in my show enough phase.
That's funny. Show enough with the
But I
Converse.
mean, you
Mm-hmm.
got on here, you got Stevie Wonder, you got DeBarge on here, Vanity, oh, beautiful Vanity, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a guy named Willie Hutch who did
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
he has the glow, and it actually has a part where it's almost like rap, right? It
Mm-hmm.
is rap. You can say it's rap. All the masses know you need to glow, to glow, to
Mm-hmm.
glow. You got to go, but then the whole composition of the song and everything it made, if you listen to the lyrics and what they're saying, even though it's about like a young man trying to find the master or whatever, it's talking about like you're living your life, because there's a line where it says it takes sacrifice, it takes hard work,
Mm-hmm.
it's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up hearing that, it's like, yo, you got to be dedicated, you can't just give up.
Right.
I was just like, yo, this right here. There's a song with the dude Willie Hutch, and the Temptations called Inside You.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if like the Last Dragon, he was searching for the master, and the whole time his master was telling him it's really inside you.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
was walking around with what he thought was a medallion. It was nothing
It's
but a belt
nothing.
buckle.
Right. Right.
And he's like, "You searching for something?" He was like, "It is only one place.
Hmm.
It is there,
Mm-hmm.
there where you will find basically what you're singing for, the master." So the
Mm-hmm.
song "Inside You,"
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this is my joint. And the Last Dragon, the cover
Yes. That's
song.
that's that's dope artwork. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have it. My top
That's
five.
cool. All right, cool. Well, Ty, I want to thank you so much for your time and sharing off your top five vinyl that you have over there.
No doubt, no doubt. I,
Well,
I I enjoyed this thoroughly, man. It's a nice little breakup to my life right now. Um, just to have something to think about. It took me when you first told me all this all week. I was just like, oh, but what am I going to do? At first, it was just pick five. I was like, okay, but then when you sent me the message, it said top five. I was like, five.
Mm.
Jeez, but it's my top five. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know what it is. What is? I got one album. I've sat and I didn't even open it yet.
Mm.
It was Silk Sonic, and
Okay.
I didn't buy it because I love Silk Sonic. I brought it because of the Love Train.
Mm.
So the song on there, I remember listening to Drew Hill, and they have their version of Love Train,
Mm.
and
Mm.
then it's actually a remake of another. I forget the name of the group, you know. So it's been done a few times, but like for that song, I was like, I have to get it because it was special release on the vinyls.
Mm.
So I
Okay.
was like, oh, okay. So sometimes you pick vinyl based on that. You might be rummaging through random crates somewhere.
Exactly.
There's all different ones. I know a lot of DJs, they got all kinds of stuff, but then music producers, same thing. But just because they know I could sample this, so I could do that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you gonna get you some good top fives out there, man.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. But again, I want to thank you so much for your time, Ty. We'll talk soon.
Definitely, my brother.
All right,
Take
man.
care.
Have a good one.